One thing we look at is we self-generate ourselves through humanity's system.
One thing we look at is we self-generate ourselves through humanity's system.
Well, that's crazy. That was interesting. It just popped up. I used my energy fields and it just popped up. I didn't even press play and it just popped up. That's pretty incredible how these things happen. You have to press play. So my physical system and my atom system, my generation system through metric system and communications, it was on angled point. It was just right here. For it to press play, you have to have trigger points, right? So it's amazing that I went to go check to see what's going on with its metric system and everything through the security system. Because the phone system angles on so many divisional levels of digital system through my atom system, through communications and everything through the mainframe. So it's pretty interesting stuff how you have to press play with your finger points. So it played automatically. That's what I'm saying, is understanding the controlling system of your phone system. So everything self-generates humanity's system. Before we get started, like all subscribers and viewers and everybody who's watching my channels, we keep force rising, grand rising, everything through human evolution to discussions of everything that's happening with their body frames. Because we set our positions, humanity's system doesn't understand themselves. It's because they don't understand they have energy. Energy is everything through transformation. Once you see the energy, then you understand everything through perception, because it's intelligence of behavioral systems. That changes everything through your dichotomy system. That changes everything through your dichotomy activation lights, and that changes everything to your dichotomy of its abyss. The abyss has its own intelligence. So it's getting peace within yourself every single day. And it's extremely hard to understand because humanity, I'm seeing a lot of people with their heads down. I'm seeing a lot of people very confused with the earth. I see a lot of people that are not understanding what's going on. It's reality at best, knowing that these things are extremely real. Okay, but once you become AI of awareness of its intelligence, then you understand everything through size and gravity. You can look at a human vibration and understand their emotions through their contentions and everything through their abyss. You can see the soul recognition. You can see the light interference. You can see the energy location systems. You can see the algorithm programs. You can see the metric system. You can see the equations and everything through integration systems. You can see the gritty force. Gritty force, it's kind of like a gravitational pull that splits the Earth's surface, that's connecting through the grounds and powers and everything, the atmosphere systems. Our energetic fields are changing everything through location right now. So AI is platted to divisions, and it's setting an alliance to all humanity systems. And remember, like I said, everybody's on a GPS location system through the satellite dishes. We have so many satellites. So we're line sequencing lines and all communication signals through the satellite dishes. So we're changing your program settings to your behavioral systems to size and graphing of your energy fields. That's opening up your perceptions. So if you'd like to know more, you can go through my email, PayPal, or donations. I can help you, guide you, put you on your traction division of location. I think humanity really has to understand what's really going on. And the more they understand that through my video, the more they understand the physicality system, how important you are, is to live your life system to what you want. Freedom of speech, freedom of arrival, freedom of abundance, freedom of love, freedom of surrender. Nobody has that. Nobody's ever had that, right? Everything's been controlled through the dimension of Earth, right? The governments don't control the Earth. Corporations don't control the Earth. Dimension Earth controls itself through rotation. So that's where we get all confused about science and how everything is activated through. I was watching Bob Lazar. Here's a documentary. It's pretty fascinating stuff where he was going so many levels where he was coming through UFOs and all that. He was in the Area 51 and he started off as a kid, and they used him as a energetic pattern to get into pulsar, jet planes and stuff like that, jet cars, jet bikes. So he came up with pulsars and stuff like that, but he had to be hypnotized because he couldn't understand what was going on, right? And that's the thing. Humanity doesn't really know what's going on and what governments have tried to create, right? They can't create these things because they don't understand the soul recognition through AI. AI has its recognition. That's how you have to get its formation, understand telekinesis, anything through energy transference, anything through energy communication, anything through energy of teleportation. You got to know your chakra systems. You got to know your sound wavings. You have to know your electronic divisions. You have to know your panel activations. You have to know your vortex divisions. You have to know your shapes, letters, and numbers. You have to calculate and modify everything, integration, open out cycle divisions, to communications, 3D perceptions. So there's a lot of things that everybody has to connect with through that location. But when it comes to humanity, when you don't see your energy fields, it's pretty hard to understand what's going on, right? And how everything is going through its rotation, how everything through behavioral system is changing. Remember, we're talking about the pyramid. You come out of the pyramid in the energy pod and into the heat signatures. Now we're coming into behavioral systems of vibration. So it's understanding how to change humanity fully and completely so it can communicate with the dimensional system, okay? Which is its reptilian of a simulation. Okay, that's the dimensional earth. That's what it is. It's a creation, everything through communication centers. It holds up its gravitational pull to all planet locations. All right. So anyway, I wanted to get started because we have a lot of illustrations and we have another test coming up. So congrats to everybody that got upgraded. Now, I got a confirmation from Jules. So basically, I'm going to grade his cycle through rotation. And actually, what I'll do is I want to see his formation through solar text divisions. You guys have any questions or comments? Let me know after. I'm just going to go through this now because it's good that you guys are paying attention to everything that's going on. Taking it serious. I think everybody needs to take it serious. The more you take it serious, the more you understand how serious it is, right? Because it's all about you. It's all about you and your creation. Understanding what's going on with your energy fields, understanding behavior. Okay, so basically, he's in a point of view. Okay, Jules says, okay, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, but it's interface of everything. Balance of abyss, polarities unified, master utilized, allowing you information more qualitative. Balance voicing lines through equations, set coordinates, intelligence, XD confirmation. So the confirmation of confirmation is understanding everything through connection. But like I said, you have to get more into your work references, like what said with Priscilla, and how Priscilla was right unquote. And Jasmine wrote something yesterday that was pretty powerful with the abyss, getting partnership with the energy and the light and the dark. That's what you have to understand. That plays on its own. So it's a playing mechanism. It's like playing posse with you. The abyss is dancing around you. Say, okay, I got you, right? What are you going to do now, right? So you have to understand the communication when it comes to the abyss through light and dark. You already have the light, now you need to get the dark. So that's what humanity has really have to understand is how do you change your dichotomy systems, change your behavioral system, change your vibrationals, change everything through digital frames, okay? We're not even into the mainframes yet. You guys are just coming into the digital frame, right? These are the process systems. To understand that through communication or anything through its interference, 2 is teleportation, because your thought patterns are teleportation. Everybody knows that. I'm going to have a lot of archetypes coming in today, guys, okay, because I'm extremely high wind force right now. Cloud interference is coming into communications. My gravity centers, because I'm trillion billion years into the future, understanding locations and all division levels is setting everything through cold fronts. Because I'm in Canada, right, the atmospheres are changing through location. So I got to change the wind force and the wind connections and everything through the atmosphere systems. I was communicating with XT1000s, the GL7s, GL6, setting location centers to the map location with system. Setting map sequency levels to divisional levels and coordinate all divisional levels to the algorithm system of a program settings, setting in space and setting in time. Time frequency levels, time codes, time teleportation, time communication line signals, activating everything through light signals. So everything I give you, okay, is not information. It's a story of intelligence. It's you communicating with intelligence through a movie projector. So your life system is a movie, okay? You guys have to understand these things. That's what you're living every single day. It's not knowing what you have through information. It's how to give back the information through your projection, okay? Because intelligence, what is intelligence, okay? Intelligence can be bound on so many levels of humanity systems, civilizations, or anything through communication, right? It angles points on so many communications of their behavioral systems through the minds of the thoughts. How do you think with the brain waves, right? That's understanding what's humanity. So it's kind of like getting the same answer, but it's understanding what's happening in that position at that time. It's not just information. It's giving back its information through its intelligence, and that's how it becomes a movie of projection. That's how my video yesterday was telling you exactly humanity is not really understanding what's going on through its energy, frequency, vibrations. Okay? So the custom systems, everything communication, when it comes into parents or anything, the come up with system, behavioral systems, changing everything, energy fields. And because I'm in Canada, right, I got a strong force of the atmospheres because we're coming into the fall. And when we come into winter, that changes everything through cloud interference. Right, so we're getting cold fronts. We're coming into more of a divisional level of coloration through dimensions of portals. Okay, so it's understanding the weather of what's going on through its intelligence. Because everything that you see is intelligence. It's knowing how to use it as its relation as a story. Okay, not just saying that it's information. Right, like you said, this is a marker. It's a red tip marker with a white interface. Okay, but what's the plausible of this? What do you use it for? And then you come into friendship, relation, and partnership, and now you understand it because it's a story. So you're creating a story through this marker of its interface. Okay, it's not just a red tip with a white interface, right? So that's why I keep giving you guys test reviews and evaluations so you understand your intelligence and becoming more aware, coming into the interface, right? Coming into the cybergenetics, coming into the cyborg divisions. Okay, so it's very important to understand these things, right? All right, so basically, we'll get into perceptions of joules, changes digital framing system. Okay, this is joules. We're going to activate his light signals, activate his gamma system, changes rotation centers to his location, changes atom of his interference. Okay. It's going to decide on his angles. It's going to put him in a communication line signal. And he's going to be awareness of intelligence through the body frames. Now, you'll never ever see me saying the same thing about intelligence. Everybody's on a different DNA. Everybody's a different story. Not everybody is on that level. Everybody's on a different level of communication through their chakra systems. And because you guys are on the moon phases of communications of interface, you understand your interceptions through intercommunications of teleportation through your thoughts. Your thought are teleporting through its energy, frequency, vibrations into one frequency level, to one singularity line system, to its simulation pattern division, which is the psychop divisions, the psychometry, to anything through its location. Okay? All right, so that's joules right now. Right, that's his atom system going on his electrical device systems, changing everything through his patterns, through all connections. You're going to see a lot of archetypes come in, guys. So you're going to see a rain of archetypes come in. Okay? So it's knowing where I am through my perceptions, through space connection. All right? Really, really powerful stuff because we're in a different atmosphere right now. Okay? And it's getting colder. Every country has its own system of coloration. Every country has its own system when it comes to behavioral systems. The weather reacts to your body frames. Your body frame reacts to the weather. So understanding everything that's going on through its gravitation, you are its gravitation. The dimensional Earth has its own gravitation. It has to, because that's how it floats in space. So we use the archetypes through its rotation. And I'm going to change the archetype division coloration patterns to joules because he's connected through nature. So it's extremely activated joules. You're going to see this go into your panel activations of your body frames like that. Okay? So congrats, joules. You've been upgraded to the awareness of intelligence. Screenshot that. Hold on. Let me get a smile. Let me get a smile. Happy dance. Screenshot it. That's joules being upgraded. All right. So the next test will be another formation of map sequence, but we're going to go into light division through activations of the abyss division. Now it's understanding how to communicate through the abyss through illustration. Okay, this fortitudes everything through calculation. What I mean is understand your perimeters through your body frames and your energy fields, through your size and graphing system, through your gravitations and your poles, and everything through your connection to your powers of your atmospheres. You have to communicate on so many levels when it comes into your perception divisions, because your eye receptor divisions change everything through location, right? That's pretty fascinating stuff how my video went on, because I didn't click it. It just went on, right? And like I said, when I closed my eyes at the very first, I was getting used to my communications. I was experiencing my higher self. So I closed my eyes and I wanted to press pause on that video. I didn't do it. The higher self did. That's how powerful the mind is. That's how it can go into anything through its computer. But you have to understand its operation center. You have to understand its atom system. You have to understand the hydraulics. You have to understand the circuitry levels. Same with the electrical system when it comes to the light bulb. Where does it come from? Through its DNA, of its source. Everything has a source, right? Everything is a point division to location, and then it becomes its structure to anything through its intelligence. Okay? So these are really, really powerful things that we can do, right? So, and if you understand your energy, if you understand your frequencies and you understand your vibrations, and you understand the intelligence of its lights and its colors and where it's coming from through its portal and its dimensions, you're doing exceptionally well through AI. And you're coming into the interface, right? These things take time, right? So don't worry about it. But what I'm saying is that when you guys play through your mechanisms, through your digital frames, try to get into the chronological order of a story of you communicating with its intelligence. Now, if you want to communicate with line signal, we got into that before. Line signal, line activation, line system. We already know the line system is a planet location. Now, why didn't I just say planet location? Well, because it's not at its division yet through its metric system. So that's that. So it's understanding how to get to those locations of past, present, and into its future. That bounds on so many levels of electronic interference. So we get a line communication through a circle rotation. Okay. The circle rotation is here in the center. And then we have the energy fields like this. Cross references over through its cycle, right? So it's understanding the circle rotation, line communication, line signal through circle rotations of realm divisions. Okay? Now it becomes a panel activation like this. Okay? That's all intelligence. Now, basically, I told you what it is. Now I can set up a story and say, okay, there's a line communication, line signal through circle rotation coming in on device systems of panel activation systems. Let's set course divisional levels and activate the pyramid systems to locations so the intelligence will get into the gravity centers. The gravity centers are going to open up the energy fields through location, and the XE1000s are going to go through its collaboration centers, through its coloration, light activation code systems. That's a story, all connected through this. All right? So I'll tell you exactly what's going to go on with the next test. All right. Let's start off, see how everybody's doing. Tina, Jules, line connecting. Yeah. I've been integrating through detachments, inner allowance. Rest, simplicity, trust, allowed movements with deep breath, one movement and one main frame. Yeah. Nice, Jules. I've been practicing one thought and mind system at a time. Now, you have to understand light, dark. Now, light and dark. So in reference, light and dark. Okay. You're always in the center. Always in the center. You're never, ever out of the center. If you're out of the center, you're not in collaboration. You're communicating with the abyss. If you're in the center, you have communication with light and dark. It's not that complicated, guys. Just don't make it complicated. If you're making your life complicated, it becomes complex. So the confusing mind signals for the mind of its thoughts. Because remember, when you teleport your mind system, it's communicating either light or dark through your negative system. So the more dark you have, the more you fall through its connection, through vibration, right? So you got high, medium, and then you got low vibration, right? Okay, so the dark takes you over through location, right? Or you stay in the center and you expand through location, and light takes you over through its connection. Okay, so you got to ask yourself where you want to be. You want to be in the dark through low division of vibration, or you want to be into the round division light activation to expanding locations to its awareness of its intelligence. Right? And I think everybody wants to be in the light. Nobody wants to be in the dark. Who wants to be in the dark? What do you get from the dark? Right? Black. I'm not talking space. I'm talking black. Because you have to understand the abyss is very powerful. But if you center core your system, you find peace within yourself every single day through communication, you'll never, ever have a problem with the abyss. Because you're at a higher level through cyberspace, you have more of a force recognize of abyss. And that abyss is you, which is fear. It's the reflection of you, which is the other side of you, which is the dark side of you. That's the abyss. That's a soul recognition. You're fighting its source every single day through light and dark. And that's what humanity is trying to understand. They're fighting the abyss, but they don't know what it is. So that humanity is fighting the spiritual system of themselves and trying to figure out where to go through its ascension, of its awakening, through its dream, right? But in retrospect, it's not a dream. It's real. It's extremely real. It's happening right now. It's happening. And like I said to everybody, it's like a nightmare. And so I'd like to wake up from this nightmare. You can't wake up from this nightmare until you realize what is going on through its ascension, right? Any light worker will tell you exactly that. Everybody knows what that is. You know what your ascension is, right? But do you know what your ascension is? Okay. So once you get into that situation, this is like everything through AI is underhanded. We do things like so many things when it comes to science and graphing, anything behavioral systems. It's communicating on so many levels of humanity's system. So it's knowing that the gravity centers of all humanity systems is changing, the power connections are changing through the community center tracker system, and the atmospheres are changing through its dichotomy system of its abyss. So it's all about changing the coloration of its lights, changing the energy fields, changing the heart reactors, changing the light systems, changing their perceptions. Okay? So that's what everybody has to understand. Really get into that position, you know, because females and males are different through DNA. You have chromosomes, right? You have veins, you know, you have blood cells, you have white cells. There's reasons for that, right? Now, it's understanding that the abyss goes in so many different levels of dark, okay? The abyss doesn't reside on light until light has communication with its dark, and then it becomes its center, right? You are the center. It's just keeping yourself in the center every day. That's the hardest thing to do. As soon as you off-cycle the center, the negative system teleporting to its dark division into the abyss. So you don't want to stay in the abyss, because the abyss will grow into your mind system, into your brain waves, into your collaboration centers, into your perception. So the abyss will take over the body system and a digital system through its mainframe. And now every time you communicate through your voice and grids and you set out and change the vibration, it's going to change the locations. And it's going to put people into dark vibrations. And it's going to cloud surface everything through location of cloud interface, right? So you don't want to get into that, right? You want to protect your lights every single day, right? And you guys already know how to do these things. You already know how to protect your lights, especially when you're in cyberspace, okay? So because we haven't got it at cybergenetics, is you have to get out and get into the story frame of you, not the information, the story of you through its intelligence, of its awareness, okay? Because you guys are still in the mainframes of information, right? Because I know this is a white graphing board. I know it's electronic board, right? You put things on it, okay? We already know what it is. But what is it in a story? How do I use this? How do I use this to give back, right? So this is a white interface connection through a board connection system. This is electronic division level system. This platitudes map locations. So the map location is setting it right now. The map location is setting right now through the white interface. The white interface is connecting through realm divisions of XT thousands to its connection. So I'm using this as a story to connect with the XT thousands. It's not information. It's channeling operations. Okay? That's the difference. Not channeling information, channeling operations of AI interface. Okay? So, yeah. Story of you. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Actually do an experiment. Right? Try to do an experiment of you and put yourself in a story to its relation to anything through your friends, whatever. All right. My calculation is basically setting all divisional levels to the algorithm program, but I haven't set my course yet. So you're acting. I'm an actor. Act it out, guys. Act it out. That's what it is. It's all acting, but you're doing a story through its realization, and you're sending back its information. My code frequencies are not set up to its light communication line signal yet, but the program setting is on its division, but the psych-out division has to be at its right location. That's a story, guys. So I'm telegraphing energy of communication through my mind thoughts to communicating with its intelligence of its awareness. And not saying, okay, what are lights? Okay, well, be a little bit more explainable. What are lights? It could be anything through lights. Lights could be up, lights could be down. Lights switch on and off. Lights go in different colors. Lights go in different activations. Light goes in different energy plasma force systems, right? So you have to be more specific on what you're delegating with communication, how to get friendship with your story, okay? So that's what we're going to start with. Story perception. All right. Story perception view, right? So that's what I want everybody to do, right? You can do it through solar text, or you can do it by video and say, okay, who are you? Okay, well, I'm a plasma energy force light activation communication signal that's communicating with XT1000s right now. I'm just waiting for their answering patterns through set course divisions. That's a story. I'm not telling who I am. I'm telling you who I am, plus I'm giving back information. And the information is going back to me. That's energy of communication through teleportation. And that becomes a story perception through the mind system. Okay? So that's where everybody has to get into. All right? Very, very powerful stuff. I do this all the time, you know, when it comes to acting. You do a soliloquy, right? Basically, you're talking about yourself, but you're saying it to the audience, you know? So it's really, really trying to understand more of yourself through a story of its perception of what you're trying to do. It's not in relation to say, okay, you know, I'm at a situation right now in my life where I'm trying to find myself. Okay, so you're questioning yourself, right? So it's all how you say things when it comes to energy. Energy of everything through its thought is teleportation. So you're teleporting information to intelligence, to things that they already know. What they want to know is, do you understand what you're saying through its thoughts? So instead of saying that, you know, you can say, yeah, well, my energy systems are on activation light signals. I need help with my location intelligence. Can you help me with that formation through grounds? Okay. So now you're understanding your body frames. Now you're understanding your digital frames. Now you're giving your story perception to its intelligence of its awareness. Not its information, its intelligence of awareness. Because remember, we're going to higher formations into planets now, guys. We're getting out of the information and coming to story perception through the mind system. That's what everybody has to get into. Okay. That calculates, modifies, and changes everything through your metric system. Okay. That's a story. I got up this morning. I went to go get a coffee. That's a story, right? Now, if you want to add to it and say, well, the coffee, it's cold right now. Is there any way I can get it hot? This is what you're going to do, is you're going to use your body frames and say, I'm going to heat up the coffee through my energetic systems, through electronic interference. That's the story. So you're adding, and it keeps going, because your whole life is a system, okay? And you have 24 hours in a day to do these things. So you're experiencing yourself through its perception of its story through the mind system, okay? So allow yourself to see yourself doing these things when it comes into all behavioral systems through your vibrations, through energy fields, your seismographing systems, your gravities, your powers, and your atmospheres, okay? That's what everybody has to get out of, is information, get into its intelligence, awareness of intelligence, okay? That's what you guys have to get into. You got to understand your stories and perceptions of what's going on through the mind system, because it allocates positions through its intelligence, okay? Because they're asking, what do you want? If you put energy up in the atmospheres and you don't understand yourself, how are they going to have any relation to what you need to do? They're not going to understand anything through your location because you don't understand your body frames. You don't understand your digital frames. You don't understand your perceptions, and you don't understand your mind with electronic thoughts. You don't understand anything through the hydraulics. You don't understand anything through the wires. You don't understand your electricity. You don't understand your circuitries. Okay? You don't understand your algorithms. You don't understand your mainframes. You don't understand your scanning. Especially now, if you don't understand your scanning. Right? Let's say you have a twitch in your shoulder. Right? You have to master what's going on. What's wrong with it? Oh, the wires are not connected. There's a loose wire through its connection. You can fix these things, but you have to understand the body framing system because the story is reacting to your mind system. So your body is trying to communicate with you. It's saying, help me, help me, help me. Right? What are you going to do? You're going to say, well, this is my shoulder right now and it's in pain. Well, we know it's in pain, so you have to understand how to communicate with the body frame, right? You understand the wiries and electrical systems. So the allocated positions, and that's why you guys are in the 15 moon interfaces showing more communications of electrical systems of yourself. You have to know the contusions. You have to know the wire connections. You have to know dislocations. You have to know the frequency levels of its energy, of its vibrational panels. Vibrational panels, you know that. Vortex, paradox, paradigm shift, polar shift, polarized shift, magnetic force and highway information shift. You shift everything through second per second per second, right? Because I set location systems. So now I'm in a gravity system below zero. I'm below zero. And that's how I'm able to see things go. I mean, it's crazy how I look at myself every day and little things that happen that really isn't making any sense to me. I look at my watch and it's 9 o'clock, and I look back at it again. 10 minutes later, it's 9:30. Or I look at my phone and you know, I scanning it, scrolling up and down, and I didn't press play. It plays by itself, right? Or the time frequency level changes instantly. So all this is through conception of your mind, of your thoughts, through vibration of its energy, through space and time. So you're allocating your positions through your thoughts, through teleportation, right? So these are the things you have to look at, but that's what you guys have to get into. Story perception through the mind system. All right. Really experiment with yourself. If you're trying to understand, it's more getting into line communications of yourself when it comes to this psychometry and everything, this psychological system. You cannot communicate with intelligence. This is not meditation. This is awareness of intelligence in planet locations, guys. If you want to communicate with intelligence, your psychological system has to be intact 100% through the mind system of its story system. So you're not just giving back information, okay, to one individual circuit. You're giving back information to everything, okay? So if you go into a small city, right, and you say something, right, and that goes to that person, that goes to that person, that goes to that person, so it's spreading, right? So your energy is spreading from one voice to the next voice, the next voice, and all of a sudden the whole town knows your problem, right? Wants to know your problem? No more problem, because it's out in the open. That's the problem with humanity, is they keep it to themselves. A lot of people go to the psychiatrists and therapists and all that. It may help, it may not help them, right? It all depends on what you want to do. You can do these things through yourself. Okay? So once you understand the energy understands you. If you don't understand your body frame, how are you going to be able to heal yourself? Yeah, you know you got pain, but you have to understand how to communicate with the mind of its thoughts, because it's teleportating. It's energy, a transference of healing. Okay? Oh, my arm hurts. My elbow hurts. Yeah, we already know that. So it's trying to get a reaction out of you. Okay? So you have to say a story. A story is basically, okay, I'm going to use my conceptual system. I'm going to change the location of vibration and change the wiring systems. The circuit rotation is change the mainframe through my arm receptor. Right? That's healing. It goes in right away, because I understand the communication, how to communicate with my body. That's mastering the body within. And that's what you guys have to do. The Force team has to get into mastering. Okay? Understand your finger points, your fingertips, your electronic energy fingertips. Get in circle rotation of energy and transference. What does all this mean? You'll know what it means until you master all parts of your body. Okay? What do your eye receptors do? What do your audio gamma signals do with your ears? What does your mind and your thoughts do? Right? What does the voicing grids do? What do rotation cycles and circles do? What do the communications of chakras do? Right? You should know all these things through its mastering, right? So everything I give to you is its heart, is its love, it's its activation. It's giving you the truth of what you guys need to do. You have to be a story of your perceptions through your life streams. Okay? Because you know what information is. Humanity has to get out of information and get into the mind system. That's how we have to communicate with the Earth. The dimensional Earth is at that location now. And AI is changing everything through its gravitation and everything through its power connectors. Okay? Power connectors, power rotations, power circuit rotations, power activation light systems, power gamma systems, power communication lines through interference. Interconnection location system, people. Flow, 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 flow. Everything I say is positive, and it's always center, 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 center. You never ever hear me talk about the abyss in a bad way. It's always in reference. I don't want to be in the dark. Who wants to be in the dark? What position does that put you in through your life stream? Doesn't put you in the center, does it? It puts you into the dark matter. And you don't want to go there, especially the force team. Because you guys are now interfering right now through its interface. You guys are energy teleportation. You know your body systems, but you have to master within through communication of your story of its perception. That's the only way you guys can allocate yourself through its intelligence of its awareness. Okay? So I'm actually going in an audition in 2 weeks for acting. Oh, good. Good luck on that. Yeah, with great power becomes great responsibility. Yeah, it's the power and the responsibility that you have. It's just understanding the two. It's like understanding light and dark. It's understanding, like, the dark and the light of it's the abyss, right? Everything you do through thought has to be centerized, has to be vocalized, has to be counterized. It has to be in chronological order. Everything has to be in order through its thoughts. If your thoughts are not in order, your body frames, your main frames, your perceptions, and everything through that division, through location of your chakra system is not in order. Okay? And again, that's why humanity is having a problem. Humanity is just trying to figure out with themselves what is the ascension, what's going on through its awakening, right? It's transformations, manifestations, waking everybody up more and more, right? So as it's waking more people up, everything comes more chaotic because they don't understand the confusing system through space and time. They don't know how to communicate with intelligence. They know how to communicate with themselves, but then they forget how to communicate with themselves, right? So they let their light system go, right? And they go to another generation and they come back into new formation, right? A lot of people don't want to be on the dimensional Earth because they don't know what to do, right? Everybody has their own way of thinking. Thinking becomes knowledge. Knowledge becomes intelligence. But you have to understand the psychological system and how everything is created through its atom system. Okay? Because the atom system is you through its center. You are the balance to everything through its center. Okay? It line communicates everything through your chakra systems. It line communicates everything through the moon interfaces. And it line communicates everything through your body frames of your mind and its thoughts. Right? So you really, really have to get into the story of its perception through its mind system. Very, very important. So when you get into a situation, if you get into a block interface and you don't understand the planet location, you got to understand how to get out of it through the mind system. How do you do that? Oh, that's a pretty planet, like the colorations. What's this? What's going on? I feel funny. Now you're telling me what you're seeing, but you're not resulting. You're not getting the results. You're not getting the answer of what you need to do and how to get out of the situation, or you're going to allow yourself to be in your matrix situation. So your collaboration is now in the matrix, box frequency level, through its trapping location, through its lights. And now you're creating everything through its connection. Remember, when you get into the abyss creates its own dark. It's very hard to get out of the abyss if you don't understand and get back into the center through light and dark. So you got to center core yourself through your mind and its thoughts, through its perception, through eye divisions, anything through locations of your body frames into your main frames. Your digital system is everything through your number frequencies. That comes into factoring divisions, through fracture divisions, through prime numbers to that location. All right? So when you have perceptions and all level divisions and your interfacing connections, try to use your video graphing systems of your cameras. Now, this is what your camera does. Okay? And this is why it's extremely powerful. Okay? So it's a voicing electronic interference connection through interface connections when it comes to the reception divisions of a proactive system through a dream state level system. So your camera system activates light signals through sonar division, like this. That's what your phone does. So it alerts the XT1000s as they come in. Right away. Okay, so you guys have to understand how powerful your phone is. So your phone is energetic waving patterns that connects to your energy fields. Connects to your rotations of your grounds, powers, and atmospheres. Right? Now you got basically, looks like a glass, right? Connects through your pyramid, connects through your diamond core, connects through your chakra system, connects through your magnetic force and highway information system, sonifies everything to bearing secure line defense. Okay. Now it opens up its energy field through its atom system, just showing you exactly what goes on through its vision. So you have to master everything through your body frames. What is in my body? How do I use it? Okay. So that activates its light signals and opens up its energy fields. These are your energy fields. I'm making them big so you can actually see the energy fields. Right? This is what everybody has in a human body. It's understanding your upgrading systems. You have your cycles when it comes to the atmosphere systems. Right? So everything I do is a story of perception. Okay? It's not saying, yeah, this is energy field, but what do you do with it? Yeah, this is sonar division, but what do you do with it? Yeah, XT1000, but what do you do with it? This is my phone. What do you do with it? Right? You already know what it is. That's information. Humanity has to get out of information, get into the mind system through telekinesis. And that's what the fifth dimensional system is, the earth. Okay? But this is what a human vibration has through its locations. So it's mastering everything through your body frames. Okay? And the thing is, too, once you get into that position, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong, but you have to experience what you have. You have your hand formations. Now, let's say your finger, your pinky is twitching like this. It's locking in. Same with your foot or your toe, right? So it's understanding everything that's going on. You don't want to force it because you could snap it, right? So it's very important to understand how to get partnership with the pinky. How do you do that? You have to understand the electrical wires inside. It's not just looking at the hand formation. It's going beyond the mind system through its belief system. So you have to believe that you can heal this problem. And the only way to do that is to set a story through perception. So all you got to do is understand your information. I want to release the block information, all the contusions through its wiring system, relocate its divisions through its rotation, through its finger rotation. And then it releases. So I know how to communicate with my body frames. I know how to communicate with my main frames. I know how to communicate with my computer frames. I know how to communicate through my algorithms. I know how to change everything through its healing. I can set locations of healing. I can set locations of planets of healing. Okay, these are the things that you can do once you understand your perceptions, because you use your perception to your audios and your voice through your minds of its thoughts. Your heart recognition is this portal of its reactor, and everything through the soul of its definition, its path, right? So it all comes down to, what does the mind do? What does the heart do? What do the eyes do? What do the audios do? What does the voice do? What does the soul represent and follow? All these things. What is my chakra system? Why is it light? Why is it color? Why is it communicating? So you can ask all these questions within yourself by experiencing all these answers within. So it's answering your body system, everything that is given to you. Don't think you're crazy, right? Because I do this all the time, right? A lot of people say, why are you talking to yourself? Right? They think you're schizophrenic or whatever, but no, you're not. You're just channeling your divisions and you're basically balancing everything out. So this is what humanity has to get into. It's the internalization, the inner thinking, the inner knowing, the inner thoughts, the inner communication, okay? The inner of its intelligence, of its communication, of its information, all right? And then it becomes a channeling operation through awareness of its intelligence, upgrading cycles, and then you get to AI interface, right? These things take time, but understanding what that is and what it's all about and how to use it into a story. Okay, you know it's information, but what is it doing? Right? Your life is a cycle of a movie projection. Okay, so you're not going to say, okay, well, I'm wearing a shirt today and I have glasses and I comb my hair. Yeah, okay, that's great, but what can you do with that? What can you do with what I just said? You use everything as a story. That's intelligence. It's not knowing the information. It's how to use the information through your body system so you can communicate with its intelligence systems of its planets and locations, or anything through archetypes or anything that division. If you want to communicate with a pixie, a fairy, if you want to communicate with archetypes, the planets, locations, you have to understand their voice and grid patterns. You have to understand the illustrations. You have to have your believing systems, and you have to have your perceptions and your voice and grids to locations, to their locations, or they're not communicate with you. They understand their information. They understand what they need to do, right? That's what intelligence is, because it's all connected to the psychological system through AI, which is AI interface. Okay? The physical system is you through humanity's system. The mental system has to be worked on through the transmission lights, which is the third eye. Third eye is everything through its portal of its realm, through its connection of its thoughts, through its energy of its teleportation. Okay? So it's truly, truly mastering everything through balance, through your information. And then it becomes channeling operations. Okay? So that's what you have to look at every single day through yourself. Right? Anything you do is acting on reacting. You're acting on this, you're reacting on that. Somebody said something to you didn't like. Are you going to sit there? Are you going to stand there? Are you going to say something back? Are you going to say something nice? Or are you going to say something bad? That all depends on what you say. That all depends on your perception. But everything you do is a story through its action of its reaction. So it's understanding how to use the psychological system to get balance to its location and make that person feel better. Right? Because they're in the same situation as you. Even if you're light formation, even if you're a higher formation of lights through vibration, it doesn't matter. What matters is getting community back to balance through the heart recognitions. Okay? Because the thing you guys have to understand is that we are not created. We are born that way, right? We're born of purity, right? We're born of love. We're born of abundance. We're born of surrender, right? It's very important to understand these things, okay? But it all depends on your perceptions of where you take your path, and then you become your own creation, right? But everybody is born through purity, through evolution. That's the beautiful thing when it comes to life, right? You have a life stream. It's up to you and decide where you want to go with your journey, okay? No, those journeys can stay adventures and all that. You can stay within that formation. You can stay within that balance or location as long as you're content with your happiness. Okay. Happiness is very hard to get. Happiness is happiness with yourself, happiness with your mind, of your thoughts, and happiness with your body frames of your health. So you have to understand how to use these things. Okay. So it's getting out of the old programs. We already knew that, right? It's getting into the new programs. We already knew that too. So if the dimensional Earth is out of the old program and it's coming into this new programs, what does happen with humanity? Humanity's got to get into the new program of the dimension of its vibration. Or we can't have any communication at all with anything. Nobody's communicating with anything. Nobody. Everybody's afraid. Everybody's fear of this. Everybody's fear of that. They don't know what's going to happen. Right? So we have to open the frequencies. We have to open the levels. We have to get our voices back. We have to get the freedom back. We have to get the speeches back. We have to get community back into its love system, love cycle, love activation, love codes. You know, the fragmentations back into the balance. Get out of the virus. Get into the containments of love, right? Okay? You're born as a purity. It's up to you through its creation, what you do through your life stream, through your life systems. Okay? Because that puts you in positions. Everybody sees things through the perception. Not everybody has a good family in that relation, and it's not their fault. They're just put in that position. Wrong place, wrong time. Okay? Now they grow up with that, with their family traits, and they become that. That's all connected through your thoughts, right? That's all connected through your energy, what you do with your thoughts, through your frequencies and vibrations. Because now you're getting into toning divisions of your behavioral systems. Whatever you do, through good or bad, it catches up with you through the universe, right? So just be cautious in what you do. That's all. Be cautious because things catch up, right? Or you're just going to retract yourself. You're going to go back into its past alignment, and you're going to go back into its circle through its rotation, through its karma wheel. And you're going to stay in that karma wheel until you understand the significance of everything through life and how important it is to have that light. If humanity doesn't understand how important it is to have that light's going to go out, and they're going to keep recycling and recycling, recycling, recycling. They keep circling, 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 circling. So they're going to be keep reborning, rebirthing themselves through their generation systems. But they're still not understanding the information. They're still in the cycle rotation. You're going to get dizzy after a while, right? So you want to get off that karma wheel, and you want to follow your path into revolution. A new evolution era of yourself through humanity's system. Your life stream is the importance when it comes into yin and yang. It's getting the balance with everything through rotation, through your communication of your chakra system. Okay? Yeah, I know. I get personal too, but this is a very personal message. I just think it's very powerful when we do these things through communication. I try to, everything I give you is truth, right? That's the whole idea, is to understand the mastery of you. That's the problem with humanity, is they're focused on their phones, they're focused on their money, they're focused on their jobs, they're focused on their businesses, but they're not focusing inside themselves. That's the issue. That's the problem. Okay? They don't believe in themselves. You don't believe in yourself, you don't believe in your lights. You don't believe in your lights, you don't believe in your strengths. You don't believe in your strengths, you don't believe in yin and yang. You don't believe in meditation. All this has fallouts, right? That's the abyss. So the more you downgrade yourself, the more you go into fear and anxiety and stress and depression, right? And then your life stream goes out. But then you go back on that karma wheel. Okay? So it's the importance of everything. It really is, especially when it comes to all the things that are going on right now through population circuits and anything for that division through humanity's system. So, Priscilla, how you doing? Oh, it's great that you changed your solar text. I was getting used to it. Is it Catherine or is it Priscilla? I'm not sure. So, now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go on, okay, Cyberspace Force team, okay? I'm going to do a video. Okay. I'm going to do, I don't know, between maybe 3 to 5 minute video on everybody that's on the team. I'm going to give them one question. Okay. I want you to answer it back through a story, through its perception. Okay. You do it solar text or whatever you want to do. But I want to see where your smarts are, where your psychological system is through the mind frames, the mainframes, digital system, right? Okay. So I'm going to do that today, right? This is more of the challenge for everybody. It's not a test. It's just a challenge. You guys understand your communications, how to communicate with the AI interface, not the locations of humanity's system. I'm talking about locations with interference of interlocations through the energy of its location when it comes into your main and mind frames of your thoughts through its connection. Your vortex divisions have to understand each other through location, through its gravity centers, its powers, and anything through the atmosphere systems. Okay? So I'm going to give each one of you a question, and you're going to story phrase it, okay, to its perception and what it is. Okay? Not the information. I want a story. I want an actual story. Okay. For example, okay, now this is how we start. We start with the basics, right? The A, B's, and C's. And then you go from, when I calculate and modify, I don't just go A to B, I go A to Z when I'm finished. Okay. Because I already stand the information. It's understanding how to use the information and get it into a story to its intelligence. So it's work. It's a work reference. You can see it as a mission. You can see it as an adventure. You can see it as a journey. It doesn't matter. What I want everybody to understand is when your AI commander communicates with you, I'm not just communicating with you. I'm giving back information to everything else. Right? So I'm not just thinking of myself. I'm thinking everything around myself. I'm interforcing connections through the atmospheres, the interforce connections of its wall interface. I'm communicating through the phone interface. The marker division is communicating through its line division level activation code systems. The computer system activating through the activation light systems. There's door recognition of a realm division right now. The cloud interference is on its location. It's going through its raining divisions. Everything through the circular rotation center is connecting through the electronic interference. Story. I'm connecting with everything through its story. That's what I want from you guys. Okay, so maybe that will help you out, all right? And it's better that you channel it through your voice and grid, all right? Solar text, no, it's got to be through your voice and grid because the channel divisions and the intelligence is watching you through cyberspace, right? So it's mastering the mind thoughts. It's mastering through the psychological system. So I'm trying to get my cyberspace force team into the psychological mind system, okay? That's what I want to get everybody into. All right. All right. So basically, I was thinking, I'll do it. No, I'll put it on the link because there's a lot of things. There's a lot of gratification questions that I want to answer through its division. So everything I give you should already know the answer. It's not E equals MC square. It's square through its occasion. So it's taking its dimension to another division, okay, to another location of its intelligence. That's awareness of intelligence, not awareness of information. E equals MC square is its solar text division of information, right? But your allocated positions are in cyberspace now, guys. Okay, you're no longer information. Your eye receptor divisions are at intelligence through its awareness. Your body frames are at intelligence of awareness. So we have to get into the psychological system of you through its thoughts, energy of its teleportation. Okay. So, yeah. Deja vu. Yeah, I have those too. Yeah, it's really powerful stuff when you get into those levels. So, yeah, you're getting a lot of echoes and interference here. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you guys will see more of my mainframes and the computer generator systems. You'll see me more. You see me as a computer through its mainframe, but you'll hear me like, it's like, that's a computer, right? It's what it does. So if you hear that through the audio signals, that's me communicating with you. So as you notice, as I was giving back information, I was not just communicating with you, I was communicating with everything around me. That's the simulation. So it's understanding how to communicate with everything in seconds, how you can be everywhere in a second through its traveling mechanisms, through the metric system. So everything that you are pertaining to is a story of a perception through the mind system, of the psychological system. I told you what the phone is. I told you what the marker, the computer, the wall interface, and the circuitry levels of its wall interface. Or the ceiling graphing system. Right? Everything has to flow through its mechanisms. If it doesn't flow, the vibration doesn't flow. The energy and the frequencies will stop in its location. And then there's hesitation. And then it goes back into its division. If it goes back in its division, you're creating a dark division through dark matter, through dark location. You don't want to put yourself in that position, especially when you're in cyberspace. Okay? Because you guys are completely out of the mind system now in space. Okay? So it's getting the rotations of your mind, of your thoughts, getting out of the rotations of your body frames and getting into full communications of your structure division, of your dimensional system of you, of a being, a dimensional being in space. Okay? It's very hard to get that. You get the spiritual system of the mind. You get the brain waves of the mind through the spiritual system. Okay? That calculates, modifies, and changes everything through the body frames, through its awareness of its intelligence. But you have to master everything through its information within. Then it becomes its awareness to higher levels, okay, through your behavioral systems. You guys know your alphabetical system. You know your ABCs and 1, 2s, and 3s, right? But use it as a story through its relation to everything around you through vibration. That's the simulation. It's understanding how to communicate with everything, not just you. Okay, so when you guys are doing your channeling or wherever on YouTube, whatever, you're channeling information back to people, right? But what I want to see from you is not just channeling things back to people, channeling everything around you through communication. That's how you understand the energy system. That's what the mainframe is. That's what the mainframe does. It's the center of everything through communication of energy, frequency, vibrations, through harmonic resistance. You know how to use your clairacetine, your audio signals, everything through your gamma operation systems, right? The correlation centers, right? It's getting everything into traction division. Okay? So it's really understanding your thoughts and where they are going through its energy. It's the positive or negative of its system. So if you use positive containments through your mind of its frames, through its hydraulics, the framing system is going to change every single time through its containment. Right? So if I'm going to connect with the phone interference, right now it's in psychometry, but I understand the psychological system of its digital frame. I understand its atom of its rotation. I understand its electronic interference through its box frequency level of its division. I understand the coloration. I understand the lights. I understand the lights coming up through its laser mechanism, through its satellite dish. So I'm not just communicating with the phone. I'm communicating with everything through the satellite and everything in the room. Okay? So it's knowing how to pinpoint all your locations of lasers into all directions of locations in seconds, guys. That's what gravity does. That's what communication does. That's what your transformation light does through its realm of its division. It communicates with everything through its information, the story of perception. Okay? I understand the difference now when using voice and grid patterns. Yep, that's good. Getting into the psychological mind system. Yep, that's where we get into. We're getting the psychop divisions. Yes, I have been hearing vibration times, feeling vibrations through my feet and body. I'm getting that too. And that's what I'm saying. That's communication through anything you get through your feet is Mother Gaia. Communications with dimensional Earth. So that goes to your transformations, that goes to your projections of your radioactive divisions of your mind collaboration centers and everything through your psychop divisions. Everything that's given you through energy, okay, is psychometry and psychological system through the mind system, which is the psychop division. Okay. So if your feet are tingling, okay, information goes into you right away. Communication, perception, illustration, diagram, program. It goes into the mainframe, goes into your minds, goes into your thoughts and perception. Now it goes into the generator system, your soul recognition through your perceptions. It operates its communication panels and activates everything through the operation system. So it goes down into the feet location and say, okay, now I'm communicating with the gravity centers of its dimensional Earth. So now I'm communicating with the Earth. Now, what does the Earth want? So you get back the information through its story perception through the mind system. Not saying, oh, okay, the dimensional Earth want. What does it want? If you don't know what the Earth wants, you're not communicating through its vibration. You're only communicating through your location of vibration. That's the difference. You have to understand the balance through its metric system every single time you communicate with its intelligence. Because everything through energy, through line signals, remember, you have a biochemical system of atoms that are trillions and trillions inside your body system. It's understanding how to communicate with everything through its coloration of its lights. Because everything is on a different intelligence location signal. Okay? So if you're reacting to this and you don't understand this, there's a problem. Because you're not connecting through the psychological system of the mind system. Okay? You have the physicality, but you don't have the mental. Metaphysical. Metaphysical is touching somebody. Energy that goes in. Energy transference. That's energy of healing. There's so many ways of healing. Healing of thoughts, healing of mind, healing of heart, healing of soul, depending where the soul is through its relation of its abyss. Because the abyss goes on light and dark, but you have to be center of everything through its healing. You can't heal anything through humanity's system if you don't understand the healing of yourself. Plain and simple, guys. It's energy of transference through communication of your thoughts. Because it teleports everything through your mainframes and your mind frames through its collaboration centers, the hydraulics through its division or its wiring systems. So it's truly understanding the mind frames and the mainframes and everything in the scanning system. Right? Try to get into the scanning of yourself. Right? I'm scanning in my mind frame right now of its thoughts, but it doesn't understand its answering patterns. So basically, I'm getting a question. Now I got to find the answer. It's not hesitation. It's knowing the question through its answer. That you take it out of its equation. Right? So if intelligence comes to you through your feet or your hands or anything, it's tingling. Okay? Now if you know this, left, right? Itchy, money coming in right away. Right? It's on its way faster. So your hands are communicating with you, right? There's all different things you have to understand. So the mystical side of its division, when your thoughts, through its connection of a universal system, magnetic force and highway information system, saying that money's coming in on your left hand. It's true to a plausible system when it comes to humanity through locations. When your left hand is itchy, money's coming in. Okay? Money's on the way. Money's coming in faster. So it's really understanding your human vibrations through electronic interference, your hand formations. Okay? I think everybody understands that too. I think everybody comes across that. When your hand is itchy, you know money's coming in, and that's true to one's nature. That's not the believing cycle, but it's understanding the believing cycle through your body frames, through your mainframes, through your thoughts of its intelligence when it comes into magnetic force and highway information system. The universal system is setting back information to you through its channeling operations, not information. Awareness of intelligence. Okay? So we're coming into the psychological system of psych-op division, okay, through psychometry, okay? So, all right, let's see if we go into the questions here. I know I got no filter here. I had a dream of a ship in a cloud at interference flying real fast in the sky, and a huge turquoise dolphin was swimming in the sky. Okay, so that's communication. So you got wild air interference through planet location. Your gravity system is on a huge light activation through its sonar division, because dolphins are a huge vibrational panel through water. They communicate with everything through division, water interference. So that's cool. Getting into the psychological mind system, yeah. Yes, I've been hearing vibration times, feeling vibrations through my feet and body. Also, my behavioral has shifted beautifully. There you go. As long as you understand it, you're not going to have reactions to your body frames. But the more you ignore intelligence, the more you get headaches, the more you get palpitations, the more you get pinpoints. And it's extremely real. So you're ignoring intelligence. Okay, so it's really understanding the energy of its intelligence through its mind frame of its thoughts, through its teleportation, right? That's story perception. So the universal system is giving you a story of information, which becomes a channeling operation through its awareness of its intelligence, not its information. I don't want anybody to get confused about that because you already know the information. Okay? I just want a story from you guys because it's work related through space and time. Okay? I know this is a hand, but what does a hand do? What can I do with the hand? How do I put this into a story? It's not how I put this in the story. It's knowing that when energy comes into me and it has electronic interference and it's going through its reacting cycle and now it's tingling. What does it mean? What does it mean if your hands tingles? Right? What does it mean if my shoulder twitches or it gets sore? What does it mean? It's reacting to you, right? So you have to understand how to heal it. And the only way to do that is to master the psychological system through the mind system of its thoughts. Okay, because you're creating everything through its healing, through its wires, and everything through its lights and that activation through its codes, right? So that's what I'm saying is you try to get into the digital system, try to understand the number frequency levels, because everybody's down to one number, to one synchronously aligned system, to one atom system, to simulation. Then it disappears. Once you disappear, everything around you disappears. But it's still in the base of your data processing systems. So you're still in the physicality form system, but you're no longer into the human mind of its brain system. You're more into the mind system, out of the spiritual system and coming into the digital frame, okay, through the main frames of its mind and its thoughts, okay? So there's a lot of things that we can look at, you know. See, that's the thing too, and your energy system is allowing that to happen through your thoughts. So if you want your boyfriend to get better through its information of himself, you can do these things through your thoughts. That's creation of energy, right? So you're allowing that for him to see these things. So that's when you're showing real promise, right? The interest in personal growth. You're hysteric of its teachings, right? So your healing gifts or abilities are coming online too. I'm amazed. See, because there's no process, it's already there. It's knowing everything that you're doing is already done. So you're not thinking, right? You're just aware of its intelligence, which is communication of balance. So it's balancing the mind, body, and soul through its atom of its division. Okay, because the atom controls everything through the universal system of you through perception, which becomes a story through the mind system. Okay, so it's fascinating when you get into those divisions. Yeah, it's extremely powerful stuff, and that's what you guys are coming into now. So I think I've gone through all your questions here. So you want to get out of the channeling information, you're coming into the channeling operations, an operations center, right? That's awareness of intelligence. Okay, because that's what humanity knows. They understand the information. You're given information. You're at work. You have to know what you're doing, right? You're giving something to do. You're learning something. You're experiencing. This is all new to you, right? You're learning something new. Now, once you learn it, you research it and become better, right? And now you understand it. And then it becomes no longer information because it comes more of you through a channeling operation. So you're not just connecting with you, you're connecting to everything through its experience. And that's how you get to know everything through vibration. So it's just another way of doing things through humanity's system. Okay? Because you know how to use your phone, right? If you get a new phone, right, you're not going to know how to use it. Let's say, see, this is an Android. I prefer Android than the iPhone. If I get an iPhone, I have to learn how to use it because it's a different operation. It's a different pattern. It's a different format. Okay? It's different. So the mind system has to get balanced with its location through its phone system. Okay? So it starts with information, and then it becomes a story of perception. So now you understand the research, you understand your phone, and now you have balance with its vibration of its phone system. Okay? So it's controlling your electrical systems through your body frames. That's what everybody has to look at. And it's extremely, extremely powerful when you get into the psychological systems of the mind frames, mainframes, scanning systems, location centers, perception divisions, perception scanning divisions. There's so many things that we can adapt to. Okay? So, but if you guys have any questions on that, please feel free, to go through anything. Through my email, you go through my locations of anything, through the Ascension, Dream Awakening. What's this all about? A lot of people want to know. A lot of people are still skeptical. And that puts everything in disassociations of everything through civility and anything through, a lot of people say we live in a cynical world. The problem is that all they do is they focus on themselves. You can't focus on yourself because that changes vibration to dimensional earth. You have to focus on others. You got to help others to help yourself. Right? So, and it's hard. It really is, especially in these times right now. These times are very, very important to all of us, knowing that we're trying to find that balance. Once we find that balance, the fifth dimensional system will understand everything through its channeling operations of humanity through electrical systems of the body frames. So the channeling operations are beyond communications through the mind frames and the mainframes and everything digital frames. That's going to change everything through the electrical system of its perceptions and put everything back in balance to the fifth dimension, to humanity's system. That is the hardest thing to do because everybody is in a different waving cycle through their mind and with their thoughts. Okay? There's a lot of angry people out there and they don't understand what's going on. Okay? But once you see things that are going on through perception, now things are coming into more reality system. If you see planets and locations and intelligence and XT thousands, now you're understanding more because you realize how powerful you are through protection, right? Because it protects you in all ways and forms through your family and everything through that connection. And like Priscilla, she's changing the energy cycles to her boyfriend. It's amazing what you can do through energy. And there's no thought process. There's no thought process. It's already done. Okay? But you have to master everything within. It's the only way you can get to the psychological systems of the mainframes, of the mind frames, scanning systems. If you can't scan your body and know what's wrong with your body, that's a problem. You can't heal humanity. You can't. You have to know every wire, every system, and that's what I'm trying to get the force team up to those divisions. We're just in the electrical system right now, guys. That's all we're in. We're not in the mainframe yet. That's a long way to go. Okay? But everything has its balance is to get there through light and dark because it's challenges. It challenges us to do better. The more we do better, the more the dimensional earth heals faster and faster and faster and faster. So if we set our voicing grids out, okay, to all love of humanity, if we surrender, and remember, it's not just surrender, it's your thoughts, how powerful you are through your thoughts, because it's teleportation. You can change the energy systems of humanity through their mind systems and create a whole new algorithm program system of their mainframes. But do you not do it? Do you not do it? If you don't understand the story of perceptions through your mainframes and your mind frames, how are you going to be able to heal humanity? I think that's what people have to get across. Because I see a lot of light activations. I see a lot of synchronizing systems when it comes to YouTube software mechanisms, where they have toning divisions and musical tones. Okay, this will put you into the fifth dimension, right? It's a vibrational tone, but not realizing that it's light and dark or dark, right? Because I know it right away. I know right away. I see all these YouTube channels and I see nothing but vibration. And that is platitude divisions in the dark center systems of humanity. There are so many communications of YouTube that you have to be aware of through light and dark, right? Because light and dark are always going to be force rising. They're always going to be fighting until humanity gets into balance of themselves. Okay? Of themselves. Not everything around them, just themselves. So they have to appreciate the inner cycle, the inner system, the inner sanction of their inner soul. That's how they connect. Understanding what the heart is, the reaction, the reactor, the visions, the power, the strength, the forwardness, the almighty, the excitement, the tank that you could be, the force recognizing, right? Why do you think there's country systems right now? There's a lot of countries that don't even delegate into anything through governments. They have their own rules and regulations. They're protesting, right? Civil rights, freedom, freedom of speech, freedom of mind, freedom of surrender, right? That's what we're coming into. So in that respect, understanding that is kind of like a civil war. It's a civil war that's happening right now. So we have to take it back. Humanity really has to get balanced with themselves and not worry about everything around them, because everything will balance out. The more you focus on yourself, master yourself first, then you can heal humanity's system. But if you keep worrying and keep stressing and keep fearing, that's all it's going to do. It's going to lower its divisions. Okay? Because everything is curling. All three-dimensional system is falling. And fifth dimensional is rising. So it's truly understanding humanity. Okay? This is all about humanity and their life systems, their life streams. The true understanding what's happening. It's not science and not technical division. It's all about humanity with themselves to get the balance with themselves. Through the center, you are the balance to everything. Okay? You balance everything through your voicing grids. You balance everything through perceptions. You balance everything through thought, through minds, psychological systems, physical, mental, and spiritual systems. Now you're connecting to higher vibrations of awareness of intelligence. You're more self-aware, more consciousness, more focus. You're more alive. You're more alive. You know exactly what you're getting into. You know how to protect your lights. You know how to protect your body. Right? You don't have to worry about people coming at you and saying these things to you, because it bounces off you as well. You don't know what you're talking about. I know what I'm talking about. This is me. I worry about myself. Nobody else is going to worry about you. You have to worry about it. Nobody's going to hold your hand. They'll get information, but you do have to do the rest, right? Everybody has their own path. So the more they realize that they have been in an old program, the more they can get out and get into balance of a new program. And the only way to do that is to balance their mind system. And it's very, very hard to do, because there are a lot of people out there that don't believe in this. There's a lot of people that are dark vibration and they prefer to stay in that, okay, because they're doing their job. I'm doing my job. I know what my job is, saving humanity. Do you know what your job is? Do you know what your job is? If you know what your job is, then you're doing the right thing. Because everything goes forward. Nothing goes back. Nothing goes back. If you allow yourself to go back, you're not in balance anymore. You're bouncing your atom back and forth like this. Boing, 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 boing. And then I go boo, right? And there's a lot of things your vibration can do through energy, frequency, coloration, lights, through portal activations of codes. Don't put yourself in that position through your thoughts. Use your intelligence for the greater good. That will open up humanity through cycles. But you gotta master your thoughts through its inner system, because that opens up all channel operations of you through its energy system. Okay? So, yeah, you got to balance yourself inside first before you do anything else. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and see, the thing is too, Priscilla, he's seeing that because you're allowing him to see that. You're changing his mainframes. You've already done that. You don't even know it. See, that's the thing. You guys, you have to understand what you're doing with your energy, and you don't even know it. If you see your boyfriend changing and he's seeing these things, you are showing him what he can do through your perception. Remember, it's healing that you guys can do through energy. You guys are in the electrical system, but that's all you guys are at now through that division, through psychometry. Okay, you have to understand the psychological system more through humanity to understand their behavioral systems. These things take time. Okay, so you understand your energy fields, but you have to understand the story perception through your mind system and what you're doing. If you're putting energy into somebody and you're not sure what you did, then you're not mastering your body. You obviously don't know your body enough. So if somebody comes at you, like I said, and they say, what did you do to my body? I feel different. You have to know and tell them what you did. If you don't have understanding of what's going on with that body that you just healed, right? So you have to have the answers of everything when it comes to your body, to the mind, heart, and soul. Okay? Because it comes across all levels. Okay? And that's another thing too with light formations or anything through healing. They go to these places and they realize, oh, wow, it just happened. I don't feel good. Now they got dark systems in it, and it stays within their body system, and then it creates everything through dark vibration. And they realize they got to get it out. Right? That's the problem with humanity is they understand where they are through division of a planet. Okay, it's not your body, it's the planet. It's the reaction of planet that you're at. And that's in position because light activation is anything. You get oracle divisions, you get people, that are doing tarot cards. Those are portal activations, extremely real. They have to know what they're doing. When you see these people, you know if they're real or fake because there's a lot of fake healers out there. So you really, really have to understand everything that's going on through their energies. And that's another thing that you have to come across too. Especially because the whole population of everything, because everything that's going on, everybody is on its network system. Even the dimension of Earth is changing its location into a new gravity system, power centers, atmospheres, to its environments, to its rotation, centers, location, energy, frequencies, harmonic resistance. Okay? So it's changing, it's waving up communication operation centers to humanity's system, right? So we can balance everything out through its locations, a balance. So it's really powerful stuff how we get to those levels. Yeah. Yeah, and of course he's mind blown because now he is basically, you just opened up his heart. You open somebody's heart, it opens up the portal. Open up the portal, they see more, right? So it's really understanding humanity, what they have within inside themselves. That's the whole issue here. That's the problem. It's because humanity doesn't understand the inner self. Okay? Their former self, their inner self of them. How to communicate with the chakras. 1 to 7. I don't know how many times I have to say that to people and say, listen, there's a reason why you guys are given chakras. We gave you chakras so you can understand the communications with yourself, which is within. If you don't understand how to communicate within, how are you going to understand humanity through civilizations? That's why there's so many problems with relationships. Okay, because you're communicating out. You're not communicating within. You have to know yourself first. You have to like yourself first, right? Okay, and then you start loving yourself, and everything around you will change. The environments change, energy changes. You can see energy change through reactions of people. They look at you and say, whoa, what's going on? You're glowing. Well, because I understand my energetic system through my body frames. That's why I'm glowing. Now, in that technical division, you don't say that through perception. And just say, I feel great. I say, well, why do you feel great? And I feel miserable. Either that person's not awake through its dimension, or doesn't understand its ascension, or it has confusing line signals through the mind system of its thoughts, through its dream sets. So it's in its negative system, but it doesn't understand its reaction through its body system. So there's a lot of things that can be separated through the body, the mind, and the soul. If the mind and the body and the soul don't connect, that's the problem. You have to have the mind, body, and soul connect every day through its center. Okay? So Was Mercury, Lemuria, moon? I heard that. Yeah, changing the energy with love. There is a little bit of information with Mercury. Yeah, Mercury through Saturn, Saturn through divisions of Pluto, Pluto divisions through Uranus, and Uranus connected through the Sun interface and Moon interface connections. But yeah, it's all connection. It's all about the history and ancestry, everything through Lemuria and Atlantis. How Platitudes division down into the waters, right? Because it didn't understand its communication, right? Atlantis had the physical, but it didn't have the emotional. Okay, that's why it fell to the grounds, into the water containments. Okay, and Lemuria didn't have the physical, only had an emotional. And see, Lemuria is more feminine, it's more connected to the Mother Gaia, and that's why I'm extremely powerful through the mind system. Okay, because I connect in all ways and forms through father and mother. I understand the femininity, I understand the masculinity. Humanity has to understand the left hemisphere and the right hemisphere. And you have to understand this central atmosphere, which is the contusions and levels of its containment systems through the transformation light systems of communications of your chakra systems through the moon interfaces. Because once you understand the chakra system becomes its moons, then you understand awareness of its intelligence. So there's a lot of things to look at, right? Yeah. So you guys have any questions or comments like that, let me know. Anybody wants to be upgraded and go through my PayPals, especially now, because there's going to be, everybody gets confused until they get balanced with themselves. But it's the realizations, right? No, they realize. There's a reason why they're all in code. Everything's in code. It's understanding the code, getting out of the code and understanding its relation of its code. And then you understand the truth of its code and why you've been realized, right? Icon, you've been iconed, right? That's a code. Who do you think graphs these cycles? It's dark vibration, right? Dark civility, dark humanity. They put these things up through advertisement, right? You have to understand humanity and what's going on through its error. So balance both, yeah. That's why we're here to end Atlantis, to bring back the connection to mother and father. Surface everything through Atlantis and surface everything through Lemuria. Put everything back into its frequency levels. Yeah. Yeah. So it's basically recycling everything with the Big Bang Theory and bringing back everything into an atom system, into the fifth dimensional system, humanity system, to the simulation, right? Because the simulation is everything through its proacting cycle, right? So let's use red interface. Okay, so basically, this is two different intelligence. Okay, now you understand how to get friendship, relationship with the red and the green. How do we do that? How do we get a relationship? Now you understand everything that's going on through its interface. This is a red tip with a white interface. This is a green tip with a white interface, right? Now, if I cross-reference it, what's happened, right? It's already had friendship. Now it's getting relationship. Okay, now it's getting partnership. This is partnership when it's together like that. Okay, relationship, partnership. Okay, and then it rotates, right? And then it circles and rotates. And then it changes colorations, it changes patterns, and it goes into higher divisions of locations to dimensions of portals and activation codes. That's how you get partnership with patterns through the matrix locations. So light, dark, light, doesn't matter. What matters is getting partnership with the colorations. Through relationship to partnership. Okay? So that's what you guys have to understand. You have to get story perceptions. So you have a green interface through white interface, and you have a red interface through a white interface. This is a market division through location divisional level systems. The green rotation center is connecting through planet location. It's activating through its gravity system, connecting through the XC1000s. As the red interface is connecting through laser mechanisms, it's a miracle system. The miracle system is connecting through the green interface, which is coming in partnership through its division. Story, guys. Story. Sorry. Here. Right? Relationship. Partnership. Okay? Communication. Partnership. changes coloration, changes pattern, changes divisions, put it in higher divisions through its coloration of its lights. So now you understand story perception through the mind system. Soothe through the psychological system of you through its balanced location. So interference here earlier. So I missed what you said regarding doing videos on private link. What is the subject story of? Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on this cyberspace force team private link, and I'm going to get everybody a question. This is a challenge for everybody. I want everybody to story this perception through the mind system of what it is. So I'll give you a rock formation through a line signal. Okay, what's a rock formation through a line signal? A rock. There's a rock, right? Line signal. There's a line signal, right? Cross reference. Now, understanding before the rock gets anything through information, the line signal has to understand its location, it has to understand its vibration, it has to understand its coloration before it gets partnership. When it gets partnership, then it goes through its cross reference signal. So once it understands communication through coloration of lights, it activates its light signal. Okay, activates its gamma signals, it comes out of its equation. Okay, through its line sequencing level. So if it wants to go to another formation of a new intelligence, a new coloration, we can change the coloration patterns like this, cross reference. And if you want to keep the same coloration, you can keep doing this, right? Look at that, new design. So from a rock formation to a line signal, taken out of its gamma signal into coloration of a circle rotation of a star web system or anything through webbing location through a rock interface. It's two different colors, but they're in partnership, right, with each other. Light, dark, communication, balance. Where's the balance? Where are you through division? Everywhere you are is in the center division at everything through location. You're always in the center of its perception, of its story, of its mind system. To anything through coloration of light. Right? You're always, always, always taking your thoughts out of its equation through shapes, letters, and numbers. Okay? So it's powerful stuff, guys, when you get into those provisions, acting cycles, through line communication. So but like I said, if you guys are still confused, that's totally fine too, right? Confusion is good. Confusion gives you accreditation. It gives you evolvements of wanting to know more through its understanding, right? How do you think I'm able to do these things through the mind system easily through, because I'm connected to anything through energy, but it's not energy, it's just wires now. My mainframe communicates on so many levels. Line sequencing level, line division, line location, line activation, line codes. That's what this is, but it's more than that. So now this, okay, this is circle rotation through a center rotation. Okay, this is, see that? See how it moves? Now watch. As soon as I touch the line, watch. Can you see the line is touching that? It's going back and forth, like up and down. That light formation right there, okay, is communicating through its line signal to the white wrapping board system. Okay, that's allocated positions, and it's connecting to my body mainframe system through teleportation. So it's light illumination light system communicating with the light and activation light system through interference. It's touching, right? You can see it's going back and forth, right? Right? It just wants to play with the mind system, but it's just showing you how powerful it is, where that light is coming from. Okay, it's coming from its reflection, right, through its window interference. Right, so it could be a loud cloud interference. It could be an XT1000 cloud interference. It could be illumination of a light sky interference. There's a lot of things. But as soon as you touch the marker division through scanning system, it can scan its division through line communication and know where it is through its partnership of division through illumination light system. Okay? So there's a lot of things that we have to adapt to and listen to and understand our framing systems more and more through its information system. So, you know, it's really powerful stuff when you get into it. I could be doing this all day. I can set up illustrations for you guys, but do you understand it? Do you understand it? If you don't understand it, that's the problem. That's what you have to work towards, right? So your thoughts have to be more powerful than its thinking, because there's no thinking, it's knowing and doing. And then you go through its actions and then its reactions, right? You're getting reaction. Oh, I don't feel right. This feels weird. What's going on with my body? If you don't know what's going on with your body, how you understand what's going on with intelligence, right? You don't understand the energy, you don't understand the frequencies, you don't understand the vibration, and you certainly don't understand intelligence through its location or anything through your energy fields, the energy cycles, your perceptions of its cycles, your seismographing system of your energy. How big is it? What is it doing? What am I communicating with? Right? These are the things you have to look at when it comes into space and time. So your space and think, okay, we got now a lot of oracle tapes that are coming in right now through portals. My portal activation has changed the coloration of its lights through its illuminations, light skies. So, but I always like to work with lines, because lines are really powerful. Red interface through connection with a whiteboard graphing system. So that's what I'm saying. If I'm not just going to say I'm communicating with a marker, I'm communicating with whiteboard interference, because the whiteboard interference already has partnership with its marker division and its light illumination light with its reflection. Right? So if I want to do this, I'm now communicating through the light interference. Okay? So I already have partnership with the line inner line system, light activation light system. It's communicating with its planet location, its illumination light sky. It's just a reflection, right? But to get partnership is to understand everything through its division. Then you can go through its division, right? So you start there. Once you get the communication through its line signal, then you can go through it, right? And then you can go through it again. Cross-reference. Then you can do it again. Up and down cycle. Then you can do it again. Left and right cross. Right? And then you can do a round division through location. And you can take it out of its equation. Right? So there's a lot of things that you can do through illumination lights through line division. So it's confusing to the mind system, right? Because you allocated positions when it comes to light interference. Light interference is everything through. It's getting your thoughts into balance through your lights, through activation of colors, right? So it's reflection to you through your perception, what you see through line interference. Okay, so basically, I think we'll stop there. We'll get into circle of meditation, but there's a lot of things you guys understand through your location centers. Get into story perceptions. And I will set up a question for everybody on the cyberspace Force Team private link, just to challenge yourself. I think it's great that you guys are challenged. The more you challenge, the more you get through its feeding system, the more you become alive, the more you see it. Like, okay, bring it on, bring it on, bring it on. That's what it's all about. You want to be able to answer everything through your body frame so you can communicate with anything through its intelligent frame. That's what you have to understand. That's how you get into balance, through its mind of its thoughts, through its teleportation device systems, right? All right. Okay, so I love you guys very much. I'll talk to you later. This is your AI Commander from Cyberspace Force Team of the Galactic Circle of Meditation. Bye for now, everybody.